Ladies, please give your hair a break. Your hair is not going to grow back within weeks. I don't care what they are telling you. Okay, and I'm going to share some insight on it, and I want to talk about it because a lot of us get into these like kind of like the get rich quick schemes, but it's like grow your hair scheme, in this shorter time. And there is a way that you can start growing your hair, but they be telling y'all these different things, and then they use themselves. But it's certain factors that you have to pay attention to, that it may apply to them, but it may not apply to you. So I'm going to talk about 3 different factors that maybe you have not considered. I just came from a brunch, so I was like, let me go ahead and shoot this video. I'm sitting in the back seat. I kind of like the back seat of the car. Anyway, one of the first factors is, and I meant to say, I do have memberships now. You can do Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist is one of the memberships. You can, I got to go and look, but I have different memberships. I have another membership where if you become a member, you can watch the videos before everyone else does. It'll be released earlier to you guys once I upload them. The second one is you can ask a question. And then the third one, I believe, is like when I go on live, something like that. I got it. Y'all, listen. The next video, I'm going to confirm it. But I don't know, I have 3 different memberships that you guys can join, okay? So just wanted to put that out there. But anyway, so one of the factors that you guys have to remember is the fact of age and your DNA. So I don't know if you guys remember when we were kids, you had little girls that had hair and it was just like down their back. And then you had some little girls that had hair, it may have been below the shoulders, right? And then you had some little girls that they just couldn't grow their hair. And sometimes it wasn't necessarily that they didn't have hair and it wasn't growing. It was more of the fact that maybe they were in a low income area, or maybe they were adopted, different things like that. And they couldn't get the assistance that they need to take care of themselves. So a lot of times they would, back then, I'm just talking about my time, back then they would put in a relaxer. They wasn't really putting in weave or whatever. That came a little bit later on. But they would give them a relaxer, and the relaxer would eat out their hair. So it was just they would over process the hair, and it was just a lot because they would put the relaxer from the roots to the end, so they would break their hair off. So you would see them, they'd be like, oh, she bald headed. Y'all remember that, y'all, those who are in their 40s and 50s, right? And so we saw that in school, and we were like, oh, that's her DNA. And a lot of times it is the DNA. So let's fast forward to now. We will look at these YouTube videos, or we'll look at TikTok. I've seen a girl that said, hey, I tried minoxidil. I think I told you about her. And she started getting the fur on her face. She started getting the beard and the mustache. Well, also she's very, very young, right? And depending on her, because she's very young, and her DNA, meaning like who her parents were, are they, Caucasian, different things like that. And I know we don't want to talk about it, but this is the truth. Her hair was growing really, really fast, which it was nice and healthy and thick and everything. But I'm like, this girl is like early 20s, so then you have somebody that's in their late 50s, 60s, that may be going through menopause, maybe on blood pressure medicine or whatever. And we're comparing that situation to this person's situation, and it's just not so. So for those of you who are like, oh, I saw such as, I just use that as an example. I've seen another one where they talk about they got this way to grow your hair with this remedy, and we're going to get down to that a little bit later on, right? So that's the first thing you guys need to recognize, because I remember it was these girls in our elementary school. One girl named was Marisol. She was Cuban. She had beautiful long hair. I mean, y'all, like the hippie long all the way like on her thighs. That's how pretty and long it was. But she was Hispanic, and she was very, very young. And we, our hair doesn't grow. I'm talking to the African American. Not all African American have. Not saying that we all do, but we have a lot of African Americans that do grow their hair long, thick, and beautiful. My daughter is a prime example of that. However, there are a lot of us who don't grow our hair down to our thighs. It's just, it's just what it is. So I want you guys to put in factor of that, and I want you to put in factor of the DNA, and also the factor that depending on, what their age is too, that makes a big difference. So when y'all be seeing these young girls, I'm like, what kind of medication you on? Are you older now? Are you going through menopause? Are you going through, you know what I mean? Are you a high blood pressure? Are you diabetic? Are you thyroid? Do you have thyroid? It's so many things that we start, developing and dealing with as we get older, that you cannot compare your hair growth to someone that's in their early 20s that may not have any health issues or anything like that. So that's number one. Number two is, how long did it take you to lose your hair? So a lot of us, we don't want to talk about this, and I know I'm the thermometer. I'm the one that's supposed to like set the stage and tell you guys the real deal. You know what I mean? Because I want us to be realistic when we're talking about growing our hair and everything like that, because this is the channel where we keep it real and 100, right? And so if you have been for years with the glue, with the adhesive, with the lace fronts, with all these different things, and your hair starts deteriorating and becoming more thinner and thinner to the point where it's bald, listen, you cannot go to a dermatologist or a trichologist and say, hey, make my hair grow back. And when they give you a regimen or whatever, you do it for a couple of days or weeks, and then you just give up because you don't see it responding fast. That is crazy. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I had a lady when I was working in North Carolina in my friend's salon, and she had lost her hair. It was a chemical process that was done. It wasn't done by me, but she asked me to help her to restore her hair. And so I said, hey, we can put some extensions in it. However, you know what I'm saying? It's going to take time, right? Now, mind you, she had a hairline like her father, where it came back some on the sides here, and then it was a little thin. So she was like, okay, just do it. No problem. Great. I told her, explained everything. I did the consultation, everything. So I sewed her hair in. Now, at that time, we was having like the, tournaments in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. They took that away, which that was really great, because they had like day parties and stuff. But they were doing tournaments there. And so because they were doing day parties, the lady, I did her sew-in like a week before. So then she was coming in. Let me take that back. I did her sewing like a month before. And so it was time to wash it and everything like that and whatnot. So I washed the hair, and then she goes, oh, I noticed my edges were, they weren't growing like you said that it would. I said, you just put extensions in 4 weeks, and I was putting a treatment in her hair as well towards the edges, and like telling her what not to do and what to do when she gets home. And so she was like, I don't see them growing. And I'm like, well, first of all, I seen your dad. That's your DNA. So that's your hairline. So your hairline, because we're doing a treatment, I'm not creating new hair for you. That's what God gave you. That is your DNA. Your father got that hairline. Your sister got that hairline, and you have the hairline. So you're not going to be able to grow you new hair if that's your DNA. I can't do that, Now you can go to Hair Club and they can create something for you, but I can't do that. So that was the first thing. And then I'm like, the lady is like 57 years old, taking blood pressure medicine and all this stuff. I said, listen, you got things that are counteracting against what you're trying to grow. So you're taking medication. So that's the first thing I told you, like, which she didn't do. I was like, hey, speak to your doctor and find out, and let her know, hey, my hair's been thinning in certain areas. So maybe they can change the blood pressure medicine. A lot of you may not know that, but you can get the blood pressure medicine changed. I notice people who start on blood pressure medicine, I think one of the first one they give you is that one that make you just cough and cough. I've seen it. My ex used to do it. He cough, cough. I'm like, oh my God. But it was the medication. But once he said, hey, I can't do it no more, and they changed it, it was fine, right? So it's the same thing. So now I'm tying into the first thing, her DNA, and the fact that she had been wearing extensions and chemicals, doing chemicals so much that it broke her hair down. So I told her, I said, your hair can grow back. I can promise you that. However, it cannot, it's not going to be overnight. It may take months for it to grow, but it's up to you to be committed to it. So, honey, that was a whole nother ordeal. She was one of them problem, like it was no good deed goes unpunished type of situation. She was one of those where you kind of know, like, okay, I don't really want to take her, but I'm gonna take her out of the pity because somebody else messed her up. She was one of the ones I should not have taken. But at the end of the day, I'm just giving you examples of why you should not be, you need to give your hair a break and stop putting so much pressure on yourself as well, trying to get your hair to grow. It's not going to grow overnight. And the last factor, so we talked about factor one is that your DNA and also your age plays a big part. Number two, the factor is how long did it take you to get that hair fall? How long did it take you to lose your hair? So if you have been wearing extensions and weaves and cutting and chemicals and all those different things to the point where your hair just like stopped, you cannot, and you've been doing that for years, and I know you guys know I'm telling the truth. If you've been one of those women, it's okay. Repent and say, hey, I messed up, and then get on a regimen. And then when you repent, you change from it, meaning like you decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to stick to this regimen. I'm going to carry it out, and I'm going to grow my hair back and be that example, right? So there's two. And the last one is the remedies. The whole, I got this oil. I saw this one girl. She was shaving her hair, and she was putting the oil on, and her hair was growing back. And I was like, well, that's really cool. But you're misleading the people because people are running out on TikTok, and they're buying this product, and then they're using it like, well, why it's not working? Well, first of all, when you do something like that, when you say, oh, I got this oil, and I'm not saying that they don't create oils that can't grow your hair. It just can't grow your hair in 2 weeks. You'll start seeing changes, right? You can start seeing changes like, wow, my hair is starting to look healthy. It's not breaking off. It's not dry. You see those things, so you know you're going into the right direction. But what's misleading is you don't know her situation. She may be healthy. She may have, maybe she looked young. That played a role in it. So, and it's misleading because you have to be able to tell the person, this is how often you have to use this. This is what you should see. This is what you should expect to see when you use this. These are signs showing that your hair is growing back because you use this. But if you're not getting any of that, then that's a problem. So that person may put that oil on their hair because they don't want it too greasy, and they walk around with it forever and a day. And I mean, they walk around, they put it on one time a week because, you know, we lazy. I'm telling you, we don't want to, a lot of women don't want to keep up regimens. They just want to go into a salon. They want the hairstylists to take their wand and go around their head and be like, ah, voila, your hair is here. And it's just not that good. Lord, my curls falling. Anyway, so those are 3 factors you guys need to look at. There is no treatment out there. Now, I'm going to tell you, the only hair that I've ever seen grow back fast in weeks was my client. And I started noticing that with people who go through chemotherapy. And I forgot the other thing, chemotherapy and radiation. And their hair fall out. Well, when their hair grow back, I had a customer, I cut her hair. She wanted a bob. We shaved her hair off. She was going through treatments. Then she finally finished her treatments. She was in remission. She's doing great now, guys. And we shaved her hair off, and as soon as she finished and she went into remission, her hair just started growing back. I'm not gonna lie, it was like within weeks. So when it grew back, we was curling it or whatever, and then it got to this point. So I had it a bob, and I kind of evened it out. And then I'm telling y'all, within weeks, I cut the bob because she wanted like a concave, like a graduation. I know y'all know what I'm saying, but like, you know, where it's going in here, and it's like, we cut that, and then 2 weeks later, it was all down here. I promise y'all. So I don't know what it is with that. I have seen that happen. Please do not say, you know what, I'm going to grow my hair back. I'm going to do chemotherapy and radiation. And you don't have to do that. I'm just saying those are the only people that I've seen where hair has grown back really, really fast. But I need you guys to give your hair a break. Stop doing all this stuff, throwing all this stuff on it, and waiting for a miracle within 2 weeks. That's not how it goes. And then also, I need you to give yourself a break. Go easy on yourself. And know that, you know, if you did a lot of damage to your hair, you know, throughout the process, then you know that your hair is not going to come back overnight, you know. And we are, especially black women, not all of us, some of us have hair that grows like wildflowers. Some of us go through seasons where our hair is just growing for like 10 years straight, just growing. Which could be the anagen stage, you know, the anagen stage where it's growing, and you go, it's called the anagen stage, catagen stage, and the telogen stage. Those are the hair life cycle. So you could be in the anagen stage where it's just growing. So you're like, oh, I don't have that problem. Then you can get to a stage where it sleeps, which is a telogen, and it just shed. And then you're in panic mode. So it's so many factors that may come into that. And I just need you guys to give yourself a break. Go easy on yourself. It's sometimes the life gets hard. And the last thing you guys need to do is to be focused on something like that. You do all of the alternatives that you need to do in order to start getting your hair back. You keep your regimen, you keep going, you keep believing, and you love and care for your hair like you love and care for shoes, like you love and care for that weave. Y'all be bragging about the wigs and all that stuff. I'd be like, dang, you never see them brag about their own hair. So do that, all right? And I pray that this video helps you guys, all right? I am Lee Hill, your hair coach. I'll see you guys next video. Bye.